beef jerky industry in America is worth nearly $4 billion. And when I lined up 9 brands side by side, the sodium gap between the lowest and highest brand was nearly 5 times. Some bags have sugar making up 25% of the weight, the equivalent of half a chocolate bar. And at least one product in that aisle, by strict technical definition, is not beef jerky. I've been eating this stuff for years without reading the back label once. You know that moment when you tear open a stick at a gas station at 2 in the afternoon because you skipped lunch? Salty, smoky, a quick protein hit. Same here. Slim Jim is a fermented sausage pressed into stick form. Real jerky is whole cuts of beef sliced and dried at 2 completely different things. Slim Jim uses a mixture of beef, pork, and something called mechanically separated chicken. Put simply, that's the chicken carcass, after all the main meat has been removed. Run through a high-pressure machine to squeeze out whatever meat remains on the bones, creating a smooth paste. USDA requires this name to appear on the label because it is fundamentally different from normally sliced meat. That paste is mixed with acid-producing bacteria, the same way salami is made, then pressed into molds to form sticks. No drying, no slicing, nothing resembling jerky at any step of the process. The strong umami flavor you taste when eating a Slim Jim doesn't come from the meat. It comes from soybean flour that has had its structure broken down by acid to produce a compound that tastes like MSG. Add corn syrup, dextrose, and maltodextrin, 3 different forms of sugar in the same stick, and you have a formula optimized for fast flavor, not for nutrition. And here's where serving size becomes a real issue. The Savage line lists 460 milligrams of sodium per serving, but 1 serving is only 1/3 of a stick. Who eats 1/3 of a Slim Jim and puts the rest away? Eating the whole stick is 1,260 milligrams of sodium. 84% of the daily limit AHA recommends for people at risk for high blood pressure. That said, cheap, no refrigeration needed, available everywhere. At $1.50 a stick when you're hungry at 2 in the afternoon, that is Slim Jim's real role. And no brand on this list can compete with it on that point. The packaging says slow-cooked and smoked beef jerky sounds very different from Slim Jim. But when I broke a piece and looked at the cross-section, I saw the same thing. Not a single muscle fiber. MATADOR uses ground beef, mixed with additives, then pressed into jerky-shaped molds before drying. The industry calls this chopped and formed. If you've ever bought MATADOR and noticed it was noticeably softer than other brands, like biting into a meatball instead of dried meat, that wasn't your imagination. Consumer reviews describe it accurately. Soft meat product. And that is precisely what it is. Ground meat pressed into molds, not whole cuts of sliced meat. What's worth noting is that MATADOR lists monosodium glutamate, MSG, directly on the label. Very few brands do this. Most hide MSG behind other names that I'll point out in the brands that follow. That transparency is worth acknowledging, but it also confirms one thing. All the rich umami flavor you taste comes from additives, not from the quality of the meat. And here's the issue few people think about with ground and formed meat. The manufacturer controls the ratio of meat to additives in every piece, more filler, more MSG, less actual meat. And you can't tell the difference because the texture is uniform from end to end. With whole cuts, what you're holding is meat, there's no place for additives to hide inside. The soft texture is a real advantage for people with dental issues. And MATADOR lists MSG straight on the label instead of hiding it. That honesty is worth noting even if the content doesn't change. This jerky bag looks like 2 simple things: meat and barbecue sauce. Then I counted everything on the label, including the ingredients hidden inside parentheses, and counted more than 25. Ingredient nesting works like this. Manufacturers place problematic items inside a sub-ingredient that sounds more appealing. Sweet Baby Ray's jerky base sounds like a complete thing, but open the parentheses and inside is Worcestershire sauce powder. And open those parentheses and inside that is corn syrup and caramel color. Each layer of parentheses hides another layer of information, and most shoppers don't have time to peel back every layer in the middle of a supermarket aisle. Unpack all the parentheses and what do you find? Direct MSG, corn syrup, caramel color. That appealing brown color doesn't come from smoking or spices, but from industrial food coloring. Silicon dioxide, an anti-caking agent typically found in powders, prevents dry ingredients from clumping during mixing. all of it hidden behind the name Jerky base on the outside. According to EWG, the product contains 21 to 25% sugar by weight. But you'd never guess that number looking at the label, because the sugar is dispersed across multiple sub-ingredients inside the parentheses. This is the real problem with ingredient nesting. It doesn't violate labeling law, but it makes it impossible for shoppers to quickly evaluate what they're eating. A 25-ingredient product is presented as if it were 10. If you've ever bought this jerky because you recognized the Sweet Baby Ray's name on the shelf, you're not alone. That is exactly why co-branding exists. And the barbecue flavor genuinely delivers. Sweet Baby Ray's is the #1 barbecue sauce for a reason. And it wasn't luck. Clear bag, large pieces of meat visible from the outside, country, family, and making the best meat snacks in the world branding. The product is aimed squarely at men who want something solid, the kind you toss into the cab of a pickup before heading to a job site. But when you read the label, sugar is the second ingredient, and sugar appears again at position 4. This is the sugar splitting technique. Instead of letting one type of sugar appear suspiciously high, the manufacturer splits it into 2 forms, sugar and brown sugar, so each looks smaller on the label. But your body processes them exactly the same way. According to EWG, combined they make up 25% of the product's weight in sugar, half a Hershey's chocolate bar, inside a product marketed as a protein snack. Bite in and the sweetness hits first, more prominent than the salt and smoke. Not bad tasting, but that's the flavor of the marinade, not the meat. Knowing the 25% figure, that sensation has an explanation. Quick test for any bag of jerky, look at the nutrition facts. If sugar is over 6 grams per ounce, you're eating more than 20% sugar by weight. Cattleman's lands at 7 to 8 grams per ounce. That said, Cattleman's uses USDA whole cuts of beef, real muscle fiber, marinated for over 24 hours, tender texture. And at $1.80 per ounce on a large bag, this is the lowest price in the group of brands using whole cuts. There was one thing I didn't expect to find on the Walmart shelf. A brand with no nitrite preservatives in any form, no MSG in any form, and a price that isn't insane. You buy a bag of great value beef jerky at Walmart. You flip it over looking for the manufacturer's name. Nothing. I tried to find out who was making the specific batch I was holding, and I couldn't get an answer. I bought 2 bags in 2 different weeks, and here's where things started getting strange. First time, hard, dry, like chewing rubber. Second time, softer, almost sticky. Same product, same shelf, but they weren't the same. If you've ever bought great value jerky and had the feeling this is different from last time, that wasn't you. That was the production facility having changed between batches without any announcement. Great value is a private label. Walmart contracts with outside manufacturers, and the main requirement is the lowest price. The meat source, process, and formula can change between batches. And here's the key difference from all the brands above. Whatever issues a label has, at least you know the company name behind it. With great value, the answer to who made this is a blank. The contract manufacturer can change between 2 of your shopping trips. The label has hydrolyzed corn protein broken down by acid to create a compound that tastes like MSG, a way of hiding MSG behind a different name. Meaning there are things in this bag that even careful label reading won't fully tell you. Looking back at the 5 brands just covered, take the cheapest meat, add sugar for flavor, add nitrite preservatives or celery extract, add MSG or hydrolyzed protein. 5 different companies, 1 formula. But the technique of drying meat with salt and acid existed thousands of years before sodium nitrite was approved in 1925. Why did the entire modern industry abandon that method? There's a brand doing it the old way, sold right on the Walmart shelf. And when you break that piece open, the cross-section looks completely different from the Slim Jim at the top of this list. The brand holds nearly 50% of the US beef jerky market, and the same company that owns MATADOR at number 8 on this list. That information will matter in a few seconds. Jack Link's uses real whole cuts of beef, and this is a clear step up from Slim Jim or MATADOR. Sliced meat, visible muscle fiber, it's a completely different chewing experience. Honestly, I ate 3 pieces before reading the label and thought it was good. But the most notable point is right on the front of the packaging. No added nitrites. Sounds clean. But here's the mechanism. They use fermented celery extract. Bacteria are cultivated on celery to convert compounds in the celery into nitrite. The end result is the same chemical compound, the same preservative function, but because it comes from a natural source, FDA allows the clean label claim. In other words, no added nitrites does not mean no nitrites. It means the nitrites were produced a different way. On top of that, MSG is hidden in two forms at once: hydrolyzed corn protein and yeast extract, two different names for the same flavor-enhancing effect. Back to the MATADOR connection. Link Snacks, the parent company, owns both. Same company, two brands targeting two different customer groups. When you choose Jack Link's over MATADOR on the shelf because you think they're different, you're comparing two products from the same owner. The texture is something many people describe as rubbery, the result of large-scale industrial processing, where the meat is cut, marinated, and dried according to a process optimized for output rather than eating experience. For people with dental issues, this is a practical concern. At $2.45 per ounce for whole cuts of beef, the price is reasonable, and Jack Link's is a step up from the bottom half of this list. Just know that no added nitrites on the front doesn't mean what you might think. The lowest priced brand on the list, 94 cents per ounce on an 8-ounce bag, and also the only brand in the mass market group that uses real wood smoke instead of liquid smoke, meaning the artificial smoke flavoring compound in liquid form. The difference sounds minor until you open the packaging. When hardwood burns, the smoke produces hundreds of natural aromatic compounds that penetrate the surface of the meat. Complex, deep smoke flavor that lingers in the air. Liquid smoke is smoke that has been condensed, filtered, and bottled. Convenient and cheaper for large-scale production, but lacking that depth. If you've ever opened two different bags of jerky and wondered why the smell was so different, this may be the reason. Opening Old Trapper is warm wood smoke, like a campfire hanging in the air for a few seconds after you open it. Liquid smoke has a sharper smell that disappears quickly. Old Trapper has only 9 ingredients, the shortest list of any mass market brand. Vinegar serves as a natural preservative, lowering the pH and creating that slightly tart characteristic flavor. But hydrolyzed corn protein is still present, meaning hidden MSG, and sodium nitrite is still there. Shortest doesn't mean clean. Old Trapper is honest and simple, but it's not a fully clean label. At 94 cents per ounce, buying an 8-ounce bag of Old Trapper is cheaper than buying a 2.85-ounce bag of Jack Link's. Real wood smoke, the shortest ingredient list, and the best value per ounce of all 9 brands. I'm curious whether anyone has bought Old Trapper for the price and stayed for the smoke, because that's exactly what happened to me. This brand started as an Italian sausage shop in Seattle in the early 20th century, and if the company name sounds familiar, that's because OBERTO Snacks Inc. is also behind Cattleman's Cut at number 6. Same structure as Link Snacks, owning both Jack Link's and MATADOR. The American jerky industry has dozens of brands on the shelf, but most of them belong to 3 or 4 companies. When you think you're choosing between 2 different brands, you may be comparing 2 products from the same manufacturer. OBERTO uses fermented celery extract, the same nitrite-producing mechanism as Jack Link's. The difference: OBERTO doesn't put no added nitrites on the front packaging, despite using the same technique, less label manipulation. The chemical reality is identical, but at least they're not creating a false impression. Sugar appears high on the list, but what saves OBERTO is the depth of flavor. Garlic and onion powder create a real savory profile, not just sweet and salty like most mass-market brands. The Italian roots in the recipe show up right there. There's a trap few people know about. The thin style line, more popular than original, has thinner meat, meaning more surface area in contact with the marinade, so more sugar and sodium absorbed per gram of meat. If you buy thin style thinking thinner equals lighter, the actual nutrition numbers may be the opposite. Same brand, 2 lines, 2 noticeably different nutrition profiles, something the front label doesn't tell you. Most craft jerky brands have been acquired by large corporations. Hershey bought Crave in 2015. General Mills bought EPIC in 2016. Country Archer was founded in 1977, has never been sold to anyone, and is still sitting right there on the Walmart shelf. Country Archer has no sodium nitrite, the most common preservative in processed meat. No celery extract, no nitrite in any form. The only mainstream brand in the entire list to completely eliminate what every other brand uses. Instead, they preserve using 3 things humans have used for thousands of years. Salt draws moisture out of the meat so bacteria can't multiply. Acid from vinegar and pineapple juice lowers the pH, and drying removes whatever moisture remains. Not new technology. It's how our grandparents kept meat before refrigerators existed. No MSG, no hydrolyzed protein, no yeast extract. The three most common hidden MSG forms in the industry, and none of them are here. Umami comes from tamari, naturally fermented Japanese soy sauce, deeper than industrial soy sauce. Real pineapple juice contains enzymes that break down muscle fibers to tenderize the meat without chemical additives. Break a piece of Country Archer in half. The cross-section is uneven. Muscle fibers clearly visible, tearing along the grain. The same test I did with Slim Jim at the top of this list, with completely opposite results. Slim Jim, 1,260 milligrams of sodium for the whole stick, pressed chicken paste. Country Archer Zero Sugar line, 260 milligrams of sodium per ounce. Whole grass-fed beef, 0 nitrites, 12 grams of protein, 70 calories. Same aisle at Walmart. That gap is real. At $3.20 per ounce for a small bag, noticeably more expensive. Organic brown sugar is still sugar in the original line. Liquid smoke is still present, not real wood smoke like Old Trapper. Country Archer isn't perfect, but it's the first brand on this list where after reading the whole label, I didn't find anything I needed to Google to understand what it was doing there. After reading all 9 of those labels, what I didn't expect wasn't that some brands were bad. I predicted that. What I didn't expect was the same company standing behind 2 competing brands on the shelf. And a brand from 1977 still sold not far from Slim Jim. I still buy Old Trapper when I need to buy in bulk. 94 cents per ounce with real wood smoke is good math. But I know what's in it and what isn't. That's different from before I started. Meat, salt, acid, thyme. That's the preservation formula that has existed for thousands of years. Everything added after that has a reason, and that reason isn't always for the person eating it. No added nitrites on the front label is one of the most carefully read labels in the American food industry. It can mean no nitrites, or it can mean nitrites were produced from celery instead of from chemicals. Same compound, different source. I'm curious. Is there a brand you've been buying regularly that looks different to you now after this video? Every rating is based on the original flagship product. Not all flavors or variants. Formulas can change over time and between production batches. Which one of these is in your house right now, and are you curious enough to flip the back label over?